I've always felt like I have no control over what people think about me. Doing drag and doing spooky, weird, shocking or horrific things, I know what reaction I'm going to get. And it gives me like power. Usually I do these really grotesque things and people are like repulsed for the 5 seconds that they first see it. And then when I like do something grotesque even more, they're all like, yes, woo.
It's Pride Month, and to celebrate, we're going beneath the sequins of the drag world with 4 very different but equally iconic drag artists. I'm Yshee Black, and today I'm joined by the wicked witch of the East End. It's Charity Kase.
She's alive.
Hello, Charity. How are you, bab?
Hello, my gorgeous angel. I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm absolutely fabulous. It's lovely to see you again. It's been such a long time.
It has.
I was trying to recall when I last saw you, and I think it must have been in Birmingham somewhere.
I was probably getting my naughty bits out on the stage of the Nightingale and then coming to afterwards.
I mean, it's not a Charity Kase show if naughty bits aren't seen.
I mean, I've actually got naked from here down, so...
Oh, right, so that's the other videos. The other videos, not this one.
Oh, yeah, I'm preparing for my OnlyFans.
Kid-friendly in the day, OnlyFans in the evening. I'm with you.
Kid-friendly at a push.
So thank you so much for joining us here under the wig. Are you ready to talk about all things drag?
I couldn't be any readier.
Yes, I'd love to see it. This is Under the Wig. So, Charity baby, for all the children at home, tell us a bit about your drag.
My name is Charity Kase. I am London's snot gremlin, dustbin monster, the creature underneath your bed or in your closet. I see Charity Kase as kind of a shape-shifting monster, demon creature, very much based in like a fantasy realm. I kind of focus on special effects makeup, horror, fantasy themes with my looks, and I try to do something that takes people away from this drab and very mundane existence.
Oh, absolutely. I know all about that. Honestly, you are literally a shapeshifter. And I think you're my sleep demon paralysis. I think you are that as well. So I think I saw you last night.
That's very much on brand. That's very
much on brand.
Demon meets Gollum, meets like Queen Elizabeth and Nosferatu.
Yeah, all wrapped into one. And I love your drag, and it's not the traditional, you know, drag queens that would still drag things. And you play a lot with your characters. So was it always like that? So do you always start like, right, this is what I want to do, and let's boom, or was it a gradual thing?
I always played around with different creatures and makeups. I never really had like a one specific face that I went to, because it was always kind of like an experimental thing for me. I was trying to try different things out and learn the best ways to go about things. And eventually I just kind of fell in love with the art of changing all the time and not recognizing myself in the mirror was like a really addictive and fulfilling feeling. So that's kind of the reason that I carried on doing it. But I mean, I started doing my drag in 2017 when I did a 365 days of drag challenge, which was kind of like my big breakout into the industry. Jazz hands.
I remember it vividly, and we'll definitely get up to that, because I remember 2017 because we booked you here in Birmingham for some of your first performances.
That's true.
And it was again iconic. Look at us being little drag babies all up together in the gig.
How she's grown.
Look at us now, babe.
Yeah. I've now got beautiful, disgusting wigs, gorgeous sparkly earrings, but I'm still this terrible personality.
Absolutely vile.
Disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. I love you. I love you. I love this whole look as well, by the way. Is that a mask? Like a mask on as well?
It's kind of like tight.
Listen, for creation.
These have definitely been worn as well. It's I need a face sock.
So obviously your influence comes from everywhere. It's very character based. But do you have a particular like film or character that sort of got you into all of it?
So there's not one in particular, but I have a few inspirations when it comes to creators and creatives. Like I love Grayson Perry and the way that he plays with gender and always has done. I love Josephine Baker and her performance style. I love like modern day artists like Ryan Murphy, Tim Burton, people like that that have really inspired me through the years and kind of just drawn me to this dark, twisted aesthetic. And I guess I'm also inspired by a lot of politics and a lot of what's happening in the world. And my drag is my way of expressing my opinion and trying to push back on things. You know, my drag isn't very traditionally effeminate most of the time. That's kind of my way of showing my support and showing the validation of those beautiful women and beautiful men and beautiful trans people who are not appreciated by the mainstream media and their version of what beauty is and what beauty can be. You know, I know many beautiful women with hairy legs and with bulges, and that's why I'm not gonna bother hiding mine away, because again, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm a woman. I'm trying to give someone an illusion. And I think sometimes when drag is so focused on that mainstream idea of what beauty can be, it can be quite damaging to the world, and it can perpetuate social stigmas and even misogynistic stereotypes. So I tried to use my drag to voice my opinion on these matters, and that's kind of a big inspiration for what I do as well.
I love that. Look at you, then. Go for it, honey. Yes, I'm with you. Now, we must talk about the 365-day challenge. One drag look every single day for a year.
I did.
And then during lockdown, you did a 200-day challenge as well.
I did, yeah.
So you've got no shortages of ideas. And now I just want to know, bitch, why bother? Why bother?
I mean, for the first time, like the 365 days, it was kind of going to be a 100 days of drag challenge. And it was something that I'd seen other people do. And I really wanted to get better at makeup. I was sick of going to the club and seeing everyone with gorgeous makeup and me with crap makeup. And I really just wanted to be good at it. And I love dressing up already. So it kind of seemed like the right direction. And it was also a very therapeutic thing for me. At the time, I'd just been diagnosed with HIV and I was 18, and my relationship had kind of fallen apart. And I felt really lost. And I was probably like at the darkest point in my life I'd ever been. And drag kind of became my way of painting my emotions on my face and processing how I was feeling. And doing these different characters every day was kind of my way of, you know, if I woke up angry, I'd turn myself into a demon and I'd feel angry and be angry and look angry and act angry. But it was my way of getting these emotions out and using them for good rather than just hurting myself and other people with them. Which I think we're all guilty of doing. So that's kind of why it started. And then after 100 days, I'd already been picked up by a few magazines and stuff. And it was just kind of like, why would I stop right now? Like, yeah, it's tiring. It's a lot of work, but this could build me a career. And so I carried on for the rest of the year, and here she is today.
You were out there putting Instagram on blast for everyone to see, and it was amazing. And it was honestly some of my favorite drag ever.
Oh,
like
so
ever.
Much. Thank
like
you,
I'm not gonna get sloppy because I'm still getting paid. I'm on the clock.
You know, it's been a lot of work that I've put in to get here. Doing those 365 days was heavy work, and it was intense. But it's built me up into a place where I feel like my drag is respected by people, which is really overwhelming and really like fulfilling, you know, to meet these young queens or even older queens, older like yourself, you know, to meet you guys with your like walking sticks and stuff, telling me that, like, you know, you appreciate what I do is so fulfilling.
You may be young, but listen,
I was young, but I'm growing up. It's moving on.
Now,
I'm only 25 now. Oh my God.
25. Oh, listen, I've still got a slipper with your name on it. Don't worry, I'll come down there. Don't worry, Auntie Yshee will be around soon.
Oh, I'm already ready, baby.
I've got a quote, a throwback quote, and what if you remember it from yourself? You said, every day I wake up around 9 a.m., smoke a joint in bed, and watch shit YouTube videos for a while you're deciding what to do. Is that the method?
Not anymore.
No.
Maybe when I was a little lost, but not anymore. That's not the method anymore. Now that I've gone back to work, during lockdown, obviously I wasn't working very late, but now that I'm working until like 3 a.m, I don't get back till like 3:30, 4. So then I'm like asleep until midday, and then sorting out a look, and then back into work really. So I don't really have the luxury of laying in bed and watching crap YouTube. I do enjoy doing that on my day off. I love watching YouTube. I love watching anime. Like any sort of cartoon, light-hearted, chilled, really like pink and cute. I'm into it. I'm there all day. I've seen every episode of Barbie's Dream House, and I'm waiting for the next season. I mean, I love creating. You know, like I don't feel fulfilled if I'm not creating something anyway. So I like, whether it's like making clothes or styling wigs or doing makeup, no matter what it is, I have to be constantly doing something.
Like, how organized are you? I need to know, because you would think you couldn't be that organized, but all of this right here takes a lot of work. What's it like? How do you organize your day-to-day drag life?
Okay, so to give you an idea of how organized I am, I have a show tonight at like 7:30. I need the rest of this bunting for the show because it's like part of the act, because I'm giving birth on stage and my umbilical cord is connected to some bunting, which I pull out of my knickers. Sorry for the vulgarity.
No, we know who we booked.
So I need this bunting, and my bunting is at my studio, which is now in Camden. So I've had to scurry around my house looking for anything else to use as bunting for the last like half an hour whilst dressed like this. So that gives you some sort of idea about how organised I am. Not very. My room is currently like, this is the neatest part of my room. The rest of it is like a giant dressing up box, and I am not exaggerating there. You can't see no carpet whatsoever. So it is not very organised.
You know what? Okay. I was going to write some notes, but actually I don't need any. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm just like a messy person. That's just the way that I am. I'm not the sort of person who likes to spend like hours and hours pretty and primp and pristine and makeup either. I like it to be messy and loose and expressive and fun. And so I like to think that my room is a representation of that.
So you got a performance later on. I'm like, I know you've always wanted to do like horror and freak show performances rather than the standard, you know, lip sync to Whitney Houston. Yes, I'm reading myself. But I want to know why you were drawn to those types of performances because they're sort of like set pieces. Do you know what I mean?
I guess I really like to feel like I'm bringing like a production. I like people to be like, wow, like how did they do that? Like that's unbelievable. If I want to get deep with it, I think there's always been like an element of drag to me, which is taking back control of like how people perceive me and how people judge me, or I guess I've always felt like I have no control over what people think about me, and I've learned to not give one, you know? I'm not to not care. But I think doing drag and doing spooky, weird, shocking or horrific things, I know what reaction I'm gonna get, you know, and it gives me like power. It's almost like powerful to have control over people's emotions like this. And, you know, usually I do these really grotesque things and people are like repulsed for the 5 seconds that they first see it. And then when I like do something that's a bit more grotesque, even more, they're all like, yes, whoa. And I think having that control and having that like power check, that switch of emotions is just so fulfilling to me. And I never get as much of a good reaction unless I do something that's like a completely ridiculous, gag-worthy shock factor. And also a lot of them are like, again, like I say, reflections on political things and what I think about the real world and what's going on and stuff like that, you know? Well, I'm trying to make people think on a wider perspective by, I don't know, drinking disgusting mixture on stage, then vomiting it back up and then drinking it again.
I think that's great for you, and I love that. I won't be doing it, but it's great for you. I know as drag artists, we go through lots of journeys and there's a lot of, you know, trying things out, doing this, doing that. But with you, even when we started, you were so adamant, like, this is kind of what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? So it's so lovely to see you carry on doing it and also just amping it up. Because I'm thinking a whole Charity Kase tour, I'm thinking stage horror production. I'm thinking everything, like horror maze.
I would love like a Charity Kase haunted house, like club attraction. Like in London, I would love like a haunted house nightclub. You know what I mean? Like live scare attractions and like complete like crazy burlesque drag cabaret show. Yeah, there's lots of directions that I would love to head in. I love like interactive performance art. But I think if I go back to my roots, like the reason for me being interested in the darkness and like these weird characters is probably down to, you know, I've always like idolized movie villains like Cruella de Vil, Ursula, and Miranda Priestley. These like iconic women, but more so these powerful women and creatures that like had the power to strike somebody down with the blink of an eye. And that's like the power that I didn't feel like I had. Do you know what I mean? Like the power that I wished I had growing up, because I felt like weak and powerless to what I was receiving. And these people had the power to like whip it away without even looking. So I think that's like my main like rooted source style, I think. And so that's also a reason for me doing these weird creepy things on stage, is just to become these villainous characters that I've always idolized. Do you know what I mean?
Evil witch.
Exactly. The Wicked Witch of the East. That's what I like to say.
To the East End, yes.
Yeah, the East End, bitch.
Drag is having like a moment in the mainstream with shows like Drag Race, even Drag SOS. But what's it been like for you, someone who's been obviously been in drag for a couple of years now, watching drag become this like phenomenon?
I've seen drag grow over the last, since before I started doing drag, you know, and it's been really interesting to watch the journey happen and to be a part of the journey now as well. And it's crazy to think that like before I started doing drag, I would never have seen myself where I'm at now, like with my drag and with what I've done with my drag. And it's insane. And I think that it definitely helps that it's in the mainstream to boost like my reputation and my audience, you know. But again, my drag is kind of very out of the box and very like different to what most people know as being like this mainstream idea of what drag is. So I just hope people's mindsets are like open to being introduced to types of drag.
I think you've got it. You've really, you know what your drag is rooted in. And I think that's what makes it so special as well. So it's not just you being kooky and weird and, you know, crazy for no reason. It's rooted in something. Yeah. You've got a purpose. And listen, I'm ready for you to take over the world, to be deadly honest with you. Oh, don't worry, like I'll promote the haunted house. I may not come in the haunted house, but I'll promote for you. That's what I'll do.
I'll book you, babe. You're scary enough.
Just like this. There we go.
Yeah, straight like this. So this is the look I want, please. Thank you very much. No, I'm only joking. You look absolutely stunning. I love our like matching colour combos going on right now.
See, there we go. Listen, I just knew it. I just knew we're always on the same vibe. Why do you think drag is important to the wider queer community? It's one of the questions that I've asked the other drag artists, and we've sort of come to we are sort of figureheads in our communities and in our places and spaces. But would you agree, or do you think there's a bit more to it then?
So I think that there's two elements to it, in my opinion. There's one element that, you know, we are sort of representatives of our community, and therefore I think it's important that we educate ourselves and that we are aware of what's going on and we use our voices and our platforms for the right reasons. And also drag is political and always has been political. Just doing it as an act in itself is political. Never mind getting on stage and then using it to fight politics, which I think is important that we do as well. Then I think there's another side to it, which is we all relate to drag queens. You know, in the LGBTQ community, we all relate to these drag artists. Sorry, not drag queens, drag artists, I should be saying. If you look at the majority of us, we have experienced some turmoil in our lives, and we have experienced feeling lost and unwelcome even. And I think that our art form is so expressive and so brave, you know, it is a brave thing to be doing, that I think that these people, not just the queer community, but people in general, look up to us because of our sheer guts that we have for doing this. And I think it's quite inspiring, you know what I mean?
I agree.
That's how I felt before I did drag anyway. And looking at other drag queens, that's how I feel. Drag queens, drag kings, trans performers, burlesque performers, cabaret artists, even like burlesque dancers, female burlesque dancers, male boylesque dancers. All of us, we have a character that we play and we dress up and we express ourselves on stage and use our sexuality and our like minorityness for our art. I think that's inspiring, not only to the queer community, but to the straight community as well, to everyone. And so I think that's another reason why it's important, because we've all been through a hard time. You know, not only just our country, but communities of our kind all over the world who we all relate to are suffering and still have been suffering forever. We need entertainment.
Yeah.
And we also need figureheads, like you say. And I think a lot of people see us as that.
Yeah, definitely. And I always say it's strange now, sort of becoming that figurehead or that person, or now being involved in a community that says something so loud and, so brave and bold. Because I know I wasn't thinking about any of that way back when in, 2016, 2015. We should use our voices to be heard and educate and be educated as well.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we educate ourselves, on things happening for our community all around the world. Not just our community, things happening all around the world, news in general, and politics in our country as well. As people trying to challenge the biases of what it means to be the gender that we are assumed to be, we should be doing that for the opposite gender as well, and we should be doing it for other problems in the world as well, because we're clearly capable of it. So let's do it.
I'm with you, babes. I'm with you.
There's one fight here. We're all fighting all the fights.
Well, as you know, Charity, the gay agenda states that we must recruit as many young and impressionable people as possible.
Yeah.
So in 30 seconds, can you tell us and the viewers at home why they should start drag?
You should start drag because it is a form of therapy for yourself. It is a form of therapy for other people to come and watch you do it. It can be a really good way of expressing your feelings on the inside, as I said earlier on. It's also just a really creative and fun thing to be doing as a hobby. You can be an icon that people can look up to in their daily life. You can make a great career out of it if you put some time and effort into it. And also it's just loads of fun. But also don't do it too well, because then you'll be stealing my gigs, and girl, we know I want all of the gigs and there's already lots of us, so actually maybe don't start drag. It's a bad idea. Don't do it.
That's what I'm saying about you. So you're stealing my gigs, so that's why you can stop. It's been, you know what I mean? It's been great, Charity, but you can stop now. You can stop.
I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna kill Charity Kase off. I think eventually that's my plan. I don't want to be doing this forever, so I want to kill her off eventually, and I make a new character, but I think I'm gonna kill Charity and leak the murder photos, a murder scene, and leak them to the newspapers or magazines or something. So I need to get big enough for that to make the news, and then I'll kill her off.
Well, as long as I can have a photo and I'll put it in a nice sparkly frame
with my dead body.
Yeah, with your dead body and a nice little glittery pink frame, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, of course. I'd love that.
Still looking as fabulous as always, even dead. That's what I love. So it's been so lovely chatting to you, darling. Now it's time for you to plug yourself. So where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Charity Kase, Kase with a K. You can find me on Twitter at The Charity Kase, and you can find my website at charitykase.co.uk, where you can buy some custom painted, gorgeous, one-of-a-kind, glamorous garments.
Garments, darling, yes. It's been so lovely chatting to you. I cannot wait to see what you do in the future, because I just know the world isn't ready, but will be ready for you. Look at me. Beauty personified.
I love you too, my love. Thank you so much for having me. It was
anytime. Listen, we need to meet up. We need to do something after all of this is all over. We need to meet up and have a few laughs, a few chin wags.
Do you want to actually see what's underneath my wig?
Yes, I do. Yes, please.
Are you going to give me a drum roll?
Yeah, okay. Ooh.
Yeah. Whoa!
Oh my God, what is that? Is that condom?
I thought I'd do a condom look.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at the material. Look at this. And
look, I told you my sock was worn.
I hate how it still is a look.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous.
An absolute look still. You're so talented. I hate you.
Oh, thank you, babe.
Thank you so much, Charity. You've been an absolute superstar. I love you. The world loves you. And come back to Brum sometime soon. We need you up here.
I
We
will
need
definitely do that. Well, I will see you very soon, my love, and have a wonderful day.
And you too, babes. Enjoy your show. Bye.
Bye.